Charleston White was born in Fort Worth, Texas, in 1970 and grew up in a Christian household. White's criminal career started at a young age. At the age of 14, he and 4 of his friends broke into a Foot Locker store and stole athletic jackets. Michael Levy, a man who was shot and killed, ambushed the teenagers in the parking lot while they were performing the crime. White eventually acknowledged that he was responsible for the death even though he hadn't fired the gun, calling himself, for all intents and purposes, a murderer. Under Texas's determining sentence law, he was one of the first young people ever found guilty of murder in Tarrant County. 4 correctional officers fought for him in court, and he just avoided being sent to an adult jail when he was 18, after spending 7 years at a Texas Youth Council center. While incarcerated, he underwent rehabilitation and abandoned his gang affiliations, including the Crips. After doing time in prison, White went on to become a social media influencer, YouTuber, and motivational speaker. In May 2012, he established Helping Young People Excel, HYPE, an organization that uses mentoring and education to steer youth away from crime. Additionally, he volunteered as a chaplain for the Texas Juvenile Justice Department and the Welcome Back Tarrant County organization. In July 2022, he had over 123,000 subscribers to his YouTube channel, which he used to document his criminal lifestyle and promote personal responsibility. However, in September 2023, his channel was temporarily disabled for violating community norms. In December 2023, he made a single appearance on Cam Newton's Funky Friday podcast, which received over 861,000 views but only 34,000 likes, reflecting his contentious nature. Charleston White gained notoriety for his aggressive verbal abuse of street rappers, accusing them of promoting violence and suicide. His clash took the form of well-known YouTube tirades, Instagram live videos, and podcast interviews in which he used a blend of humor, contempt, and outrage to name and disgrace prominent rap artists. White's rivalry with Soulja Boy was the most well-reported. In a series of Instagram live sessions, White called Soulja Boy a studio gangster and posinger, making fun of his street reputation. After a confrontation in Los Angeles, White claimed to have maced Soulja Boy, which escalated the situation. White went on to further disparage the rapper online by posting video of Soulja Boy fleeing as he was made fun of. After the feud went public, postings circulated about White's claim that Soulja Boy was all talk. White viciously attacked Boosie Badass, accusing him of being a hypocrite for grieving over his deceased co-workers while making money off of their tales and condemning his lyrics for encouraging violence. He referred to Boosie as a snitch in a 2022 Vlad TV interview for cooperating with the authorities in earlier scandals. This term remained among rappers. He stepped up his criticism of the Danza Project, accusing Boosie's tapes of encouraging kids to kill for clout. On Instagram, Boosie retaliated by calling White a clout chaser, but White's constant attacks kept the feud in the news, hurting Boosie's reputation among some of his followers. Rappers like King Von, whose 2020 murder by gang violence was truly tragic, was unjustly mocked by Charleston. White referred to Von as a demon in a 2022 YouTube video, claiming that his death was a direct result of his lifestyle and that his songs glorified murder. He also brought up Nipsey Hussle and DMX, saying that fans were exaggerating their legacies while neglecting their shortcomings. Even though these remarks were contentious, other people found resonance in White's portrayal of the brutal aspects of gang life. However, they also prompted death threats from the rapper's fan base, and White was also seen acknowledging in a 2023 game-related podcast episode that he had gotten death threats over his comments. He enjoyed citing his own redemption, leaving the Crips and getting a degree, as evidence that there were other options for rappers. Fans applauded White for telling truth about the dangers of street life, according to some postings, while others said he was being hypocritical by profiting off controversy. White explored with acting, appearing in movies and appearing as a guest on podcasts like the Game-Related Podcast and the Danza Project, where he talked about his personal life and current events. White was taken into custody in Tarrant County in October 2023 on allegations of assault with a weapon and animal abuse. In 2022, he was charged with the same offense. The specifics of the encounter are still unknown, but on February 18, 2025, he was arrested once more in Fort Worth on a charge of aggravated assault with a deadly weapon. Rumormongers are still rampant on social media, and neither White nor the police have released any statements. White's streetwise demeanor was challenged by snitching accusations after old footage of him testifying against someone in court at the age of 16 surfaced in March 2025. He objected, claiming that he had always been taught proper behavior and that his aid to the police was being distorted. Charleston White remains incarcerated in Tarrant County pending trial for the aggravated assault accusation he was charged with in February 2025. His path from juvenile murderer to motivational speaker, businessman, and gadfly is a contentious one. He is well known on the internet bulletin boards for his capacity to infuriate, uplift, and amuse people, but most significantly, his criticism of street rappers, but he is still plagued by moral and legal problems.